Morning, Dr. Manners.
Good morning, nurse.
We have Tracy here.
Tracy, hello Tracy.
Hello.
And what appears to be the trouble? You've got some pain where?
In my back.
Lower back?
Lower back,
Lower
yes.
back. In this area?
Yes.
Anything further up here?
No.
And your breathing is all right?
Yes.
No trouble there then? We don't need to check that then. Let's make certain there. Where does this stem from? How long have you had the trouble?
Had it for about 20 months.
20 months? How did it first start?
Through childbirth, I think.
Oh, I see. I see. Oh, yes, we've got pressure there, haven't we? You're getting pain in the legs?
Sometimes, yes.
Yes. Top of the leg or further down?
Towards my knees, down towards my knees.
Not below the knee?
No.
Not below the knee. Right. Well, we seem to have a muscle contraction there, both left and right pelvic area. And we've got a disc which isn't quite right. I would say about L5, L6, giving pressure. Right. Right. Now we'll start off then with the M over both pelvic areas and disc. Concentrate on the ones that are actually impinged. Yes. And then the sciatic nerve one down from the ganglia there in the baseless, in the upper area of the lumbar spine, and down as far as the back of the knee. And then if you'll give me a call after you've administered that, we'll come in and manipulate and see if we can release that pressure off there.
Thank you. Does it feel comfortable?
Yes, that's nice.
Now what we're going to do, we're going to try to move that disc which is causing the pressure. Now what the treatment that we've given you now will relax the tension around there and ease the pressure on. So we should be able to do it quite easily and quite simply. So don't worry, you won't feel any discomfort or any pain. And what we're going to do here is to lift that one up a little bit. So we press it in and up to lift it, and press this one back into it so we can move there. That didn't hurt, did it?
No.
No, good. Let's see if we've got it back in position. Yes, that's all right. You see, it's so easy to manipulate under these circumstances because all the tissue either side is relaxed and it moves easily, and that's why you don't feel any discomfort or pain. All right? Right. There we are, nurse. You can have that. That feels better. Now, it didn't hurt, did it?
No, not
No
at all.
pain, no discomfort. Now, is there any pain in the leg now?
No.
No, that's easy, is it? God. Well, that's fine. Now, nurse, we have some light massage over the pelvic area there and also up.
Cymatics itself is often used in conjunction with other therapeutic treatments such as homeopathy, manipulation, aromatherapy and healing, to name a few.
Hello, John.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. Now, how are we feeling?
A little easier, thank you, this morning.
A little easier. Now, we've got a lot of inflammation in that sciatic nerve, which we've been treating, but we've got to keep the pressure off of there. Now, did you use the thing in the bed to keep that pressure up off of there?
Yes, I did, yes.
And you found a benefit from it?
And it did seem to ease it somewhat.
That's good.
Although I did awake in pain again early this morning.
Yes, I suppose you rolled off of it a bit, didn't you?
Yes, possibly.
Yes, that's quite likely. I think we should alter the treatment a bit here, nurse, because obviously the pressure is coming off there, but the inflammation is still intense down the sciatic nerve. So I think we should switch to the sciatic one from there to get that inflammation out from down the leg.
Right, Doctor.
Now, you've got some more medication that you can take with you if necessary, haven't you?
Yes, I
If there's any
have.
troublesome. Now, don't take the medication unless it is troublesome.
No.
right? But to keep them by you just in case it should be intense,
Right.
which we don't anticipate it will.
Good.
All right, Nancy? Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As there are in the region of 800 different frequencies that have so far been identified within the body, it's usual practice for taped recordings to be made of the frequency required in a treatment. This is then fed through the instrument, to save the practitioner having to feed the relevant computation into the equipment each time. Bretforton Hall is set in the heart of some of England's most beautiful countryside, the Cotswolds, nestling in 3 acres of grounds and garden that patients and visitors can enjoy. Many people come to use the hydrotherapy pool, which is also located in the gardens. And whether people use the pool for specific treatment or for enjoyment, all benefit from its relaxing effects. The water is often charged with a frequency of relaxation, and once charged, the water retains the frequency for 10 to 15 weeks, or until a different therapeutic frequency is added, in which case it simply overrides the other. I'm sure, like myself, hearing about Cymatics for the first time, there are more questions you'd like to ask. So let's catch up with Sir Peter and pick up where we left off earlier. Was Cymatics developed as a specific treatment or for general conditions?
Oh no, to treat specialized conditions. And the specialized conditions were mostly rheumatism, joint structures, physical injuries, sports injuries, those sorts of things. Because at that point in time, our knowledge into the ability of sound is not extended to where it is today. And we naturally presumed that if it had a vibrating ability, and therefore vibration was good, we always learned that massage and movement was good for these things. So therefore we thought vibration was good, oh, it must be held into that position. And when we were first working, we weren't working at a hospital, we were working at a research department. And we used to have, what's I say, incurable or hopeless cases of which nothing more could be done. And if the patient so wished, they could come along and try the new treatments. And we had one particular lady came along on one day, quite elderly, and with great difficulty she got out of the car and got into our treatment room. And we thought, oh yes, you know, the muscles were very tight and stiff and hard, and we would try to release them. And so we did. And she had about 3 or 4 treatments. And on about the 4th treatment, the car drew up and she couldn't get out of the car. And they said we'd have to send a wheelchair to get her into the car. And I always remember the doctor I was with, his expression was that, oh good God, what have we done? Because remember, we were still in experimental stages with this thing. Well, when she came in, she couldn't stand at all. And what we had done, I'm going to cut this short because I mean the whole point behind it is the most important factor. What we had done is we had released the tension in the muscles, and the muscles had become supple, but it was the muscles that were holding the calcified joints, and therefore she could stand and totter. And immediately we improved the texture of the muscles, she couldn't stand because there was nothing to support it. So therefore we switched then to the bone structure in the joints. And then after again a few treatments, we began to get movement in the joint structures. And again, she could, with the aid of sticks and crutches and sticks, she was able to stand and eventually was able to move. And we got quite a measure of improvement in that. So we thought, well, this was it. We thought this was so marvelous and it was so wonderful that we were going to go along with this 100%. So we trained physiotherapists with it, we trained osteopaths and chiropractors with it, and we thought it was wonderful. And we began to notice that people were having treatment, were coming in and saying, well, since I've been having this treatment, my indigestion is better, or my heartburn hasn't returned, or I don't seem to get this pain up in the back of my neck, although you're treating my nerve. And we thought, well, this is odd, this is peculiar, so we better investigate it. So we opened up another investigation. But of course the answer to this was that what we were doing, we were sending complex frequencies into the body, and the body is a mass of complex frequencies. And where we were sending frequencies in which were aligned to particular parts of the body, we say the intestinal tract or the colon or the duodenum or something, some of the frequencies were in there. And if there was a problem, then it was starting to work on it. But it was working more by, we say, aggravation rather than resonance. It was stimulating, let's call it stimulating. It was stimulating it, and by stimulating it, it was starting to function. Well, the doctor I was working with, and so he said, well, if we can stop that and give something that's in resonance with it, therefore, if we say, let's take thy lung, for instance. The lung has a certain frequency, which is now known medically as an H factor. That's a harmonic factor. So there's a harmonic factor for the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, in fact, all the organs in the body. At the present moment, there's somewhere in the region of about 600 to 700 or 800 of them, and they're all listed, and we know exactly what they are. So therefore, this builds up resonance. Now, this brought in another division into cymatic therapy. Cymatic therapy was no longer just a simple therapy that was working in a vibrational capacity. It was traveling into the system and was actually changing something and altering something in the system. So this had to be investigated. Now, this took an awful long time because we had to run many, many tests to find out precisely what it was. And it is by this method, over a period of several years, that we found out that there is a harmonic factor, which is now termed the H factor, we say for the heart and the lungs and the liver and the kidneys. But the first thing that everyone is going to ask is, well, is the H factor of your lung the same as mine? Well, the answer is no, it isn't. It's composed of 5 frequencies as a rule. Now, if we take those 5 frequencies, every one is just above or just below, varying along that line. So therefore, if we take the 5 frequencies, which is the common denominator of it, and we put 2 above the first one and 2 below, and we do that on the whole lot, we haven't got 5 frequencies, we've got 25. We put in a resonance into the body, we say into the lung, and whatever that resonance is, it will pick out those frequencies and resonate with it, and the rest will travel straight through the body and out the other side.
Join us again as we continue our exploration of cymatics in our next programme. I'll say goodbye from me, and I'll hand you over to Sir Peter.
Thanks very much for joining me. So until the next time, goodbye. Come on, Kelly.